Worldwide, many individuals work in extraordinary conditions. In DR Congo, men, women, and even children excavate cobalt with basic tools for minimal wages. Cobalt is a toxic mineral that poses serious health risks. It's in all of our phone batteries, and the majority of it comes from DR Congo, which holds about half of all reserves on the globe. Similarly, in Thailand, some workers are recruited with promises of good jobs, only to find themselves on fishing boats against their will, sometimes without returning to land for years, as the seafood they catch and process is exported worldwide. Both of these contexts are governed by different sets of rules and practices, which bring us to labor regimes. If our analysis was at the national level, we would talk about labor laws, wages, benefits, pensions, working hours, any rule or practice that governs work within borders. On the global level, however, national regulations often lose relevance. Intricate corners of global production networks have many extraordinary contexts. Further complicating things, cultural and societal norms, as well as perceptions of acceptable work, are more varied. For instance, in some Asian industries, underage workers in sweatshops or their families may see this labor as necessary or even ideal rather than unfair, perpetuating the flows in supply chains. So, on the one end of the supply chain, there's fast fashion, and on the other, there are sweatshops in Asia. On one end, there's high global demand for cocoa, and on the other, unfree labor in many cocoa farms of Ivory Coast and Ghana, which together produce more than half of the world's supply. When we say supply chain, we're referring to the physical movement of goods only, but a global production network, or GPN, encompasses the entire production ecosystem. It includes relationships, power structures, and strategic decisions. For example, Apple's iPhone network integrates assemblers, chip makers, and logistics providers. Geopolitical tensions, including US-China trade disputes, also influence Apple's sourcing, prompting shifts toward assembly in India and Vietnam. Similarly, H&M's fast fashion network depends on manufacturers in Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Turkey. Another example is Tesla, which controls much of its production from sourcing lithium to assembling vehicles. This vertical integration strengthens its supply chain and helps the company navigate government regulations and geopolitical challenges. Yet no supply chain is fully disruption-proof. These networks rely on coordinated efforts among suppliers, manufacturers, and logistics providers across regions. A disruption in one segment can have widespread effects. For example, Thailand experienced severe flooding in 2011, forcing certain parts suppliers of Toyota to cease production, disrupting models like the Prius and Camry worldwide. This event led Toyota and others to diversify suppliers and reduce reliance on a single region. Similarly, the global chip shortage during COVID-19 revealed challenges within automotive networks. Automakers faced long lead times and depended heavily on suppliers in Taiwan and South Korea. Geopolitical tensions further disrupted production. In all of these GPNs spanning multiple countries, we have fragmented labor regimes, some with unusual norms and practices. Working conditions in these contexts are, in many cases, marked by low wages, long hours, or reports of child or slave labor, or both. The growth of gig work also challenges labor classification, particularly for migrant workers. Initiatives like supply chain audits and certifications aim to promote responsible practices, but complex subcontracting can obscure accountability. Some other cases involve mechanisms like special economic zones or free trade zones. For example, Dubai has emerged as a major logistics hub and trade center with a variety of free trade zones, facilitating extensive labor migration, channeling substantial financial flows, connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe, and demonstrating that modern GPNs encompass not only the movement of goods, but also a complex interplay of trade, finance, and human resources. In closing, a 2014 documentary captured a striking moment in an Ivorian cocoa village. Farmers who had spent their entire lives working in cocoa farms were handed a bar of chocolate, something most had never tasted before. Their surprise underscored a harsh truth. While they toil at the very start of a global cocoa supply chain, they remain disconnected from both the product's final form and the profits it generates.
C'est doux. Oh. Nilo tumba bon numba domone. Atawa ile. Chocolat. Ah bon.
Non, prenez ça pour vous, allez-y.
C'est doux. Oh, c'est doux là.
Vous aimez?
C'est toi mentir là ça. Jaga kaola ça bon tout.
Ah bon?
On mange.
Vous aimez ça?
On plante le cacao, nous on fait pas.